Hello there everybody, my name is Charity Legion, and today we're going to be overanalyzing the Nintendo Switch trailer. So for this, I just have it pulled up here and we're going to sort of pause it a little bit whenever it gets to something special, and I'm going to talk about it. I have some stuff set up that I want to talk about, such as right here. You get a better shot of this later, but just want to point this out, is that in the guy's hand here is your normal controller for the NX. So the way that it works is that there are actually two small Joy-Cons, as they're called, and so this is the new Zelda game that he's playing, but these two Joy-Cons that are actually the icon for the console detach from this. So you can see that it's sort of your average console handles, you know, your average controller underneath it, and then these slide in. The thing that you can see here is that you can tell that it's connected by this green light, which makes me think that whenever it's plugged into this controller, those Joy-Cons on the side actually have charge to them. And there are several reasons as to why I think that, and we'll get onto that later. But I do think that this thing charges. So, right here you see them slide on to the tablet. And so, in the bottom left you see this a television sort of thing, and so that's telling him that like his TV is the one that has the video right now, and then whenever he takes it out, that light is off in the bottom left hand corner there, and it actually goes from the TV to his Switch. And actually right there I think I want to try and pause it. But I want to like wait for it to go down. I can't get a good look at what those ports are right there, and there's no like 360 degree view of the console, which is really annoying because I would really like to see the back. And so right here, I think these are like little locks so that these don't slide out whenever you don't want them to. Makes sense. And so this is a concern for a lot of people. So you see him playing out, you know, playing some Zelda out in the wild here, and that's fine, but watch the screen, because a lot of people are like concerned about frame drops whenever you go to a portable console, which you kind of see, which is expected going from, you know, a home console to a portable console, but it's also something that people are a bit worried about. The boss does look really cool though. So right here, you can actually see that it runs on cartridges. There's an aux port right there, and underneath the aux port, I think that's an SD card thing, which is going to be your memory, how the DS works currently. So that's an SD slot, and this is the game slot. And I do like what they did here. The cartridge that he puts in is, it actually just says Nintendo on it. There's no actual game, so no one can like peek at exactly what the game is, which is kind of fun. But apparently you can pick up chicks with this thing, you know, which is funny. But so right here, you can see the back of the portable bit has these stands. Nothing too exciting over here. Has like these sort of triggers for that bit of it. But so you have the game card, you have the aux port, and then right here you have Skyrim HD. So that's cool. So that's confirming third-party support, which is absolutely amazing. So you have your typical setup. You have a little joypad there, which is kind of fun. But it tells you which one is left and right. So if you saw earlier, whenever he has it plugged in, I want to see where I can find that. But, darn. Right here. Now this is a minus. The other one's a plus, so it tells you which one's left and right. So you know that's a good feature. See, minus, plus. Just something to note there. I think I skipped a bit, so I'm just gonna go back just in case. But yes, you can detach the Joy-Cons, as they're called, and you can just play with the two controllers just in your hands there, sort of like Wii Remote and Nunchuck. We have seen no motion controls at all, so that's definitely a good thing in a lot of people's eyes, because they just don't like the gimmick of that sort of thing. But I want to see... oh, whatever. Not that big of a deal. Playing Skyrim. So... so that's interesting. I want to see that more. But I don't know if there's... I don't know if I'm going to be good enough at pausing it right where I want to. So that's just seeming like a heat sort of vent kind of thing. And this is the Pro Controller. So if you remember, they had all the different sorts of controllers for the Wii. They had the Nunchuck, they had the Pro Controller, stuff like that. And so this is sort of their controller for people who don't like the pad as much, or they don't like the Joy-Cons, because the Joy-Cons, as you can see in the top there, they're sort of like flat and thin, which doesn't exactly fit too well for bigger handed people, you know, so. And then it just switches right back to the TV like a boss. And he's playing stuff. And right here we have a Mario Kart game. Doesn't look suspicious at all. And then you see two things. One, you see why I said that I think the other controller charges the Joy-Cons. Because there's some wireless signal that has to go back and forth between these things, and they can't really do that without power of their own. So there has to be some little battery inside of them, so that you have to play on that, like, other joypad that I thought charged it, right? Because what other way would they charge, right? So I think that's sort of one of the catches in this thing. And then here you see a difference between Mario Kart 8 and this game, where there are 2 item slots, which is one new thing. And then further, that's King Boo. That is King Boo right there. And what's better is that you can actually see some stuff on the mini map right here. You see Baby Mario, Bowser's kid, and it's hard to make out. Maybe Dry Bones, but maybe Baby Luigi, or just Luigi. Probably Princess Peach right there, and Toad. So, you know, obviously probably going to be keeping that 8-player support. But, you know, there's nothing really to catch there in that other frame on the minimap. And so here they actually have a couple things being shown, which is cool. So here they have 2 different switches. And each person grabs one of the mini controllers. And so they have, if you have 2 switches, you can play with 4 players. And they interconnect that way. Although, from the looks of it, they look pretty small. Like, they both fit on that wooden plank. And, so it's like, it's kind of my phone, right? Like, I don't know. That's something that, you know, I'm not entirely sure of. But here it looks bigger, but I'm still not entirely convinced. And we do get a different sort of viewpoint here. So it's a power button and two volume buttons, which makes sense. And then the game cartridge and audio jack, and then probably just a fan. And this is NBA 2K17. And Cleveland. Sitting there. No bias. It's all good. But, so yeah, third-party support, which is awesome. And I'll have another video on that. But, so, see here. They have 4 lights, right? So, that makes me think it's like 1, 2, 3, 4. This is the least charged. This is the most charged, right? So I really think this thing charges stuff. And then you'd have a home button there, which wasn't as viewable in other slides or frames, whatever, other parts of the video. And so here you have amiibos confirmed, right? A lot of people were saying that there's no good place to put an amiibo on, but I think that it might just be built in or something. They might have an extra connector, but amiibos are still there. And then you have a new Mario game here, which is really cool. Not any confirmation on what game this is. They did put a cheeky little moon right there, which is like Super Mario Galaxy 3, you know, that'd be awesome, but nothing to confirm that. Yeah. I don't know, and again, it could just be like a Mario Switch or something, you know, like it's just your average Mario game, which would be cool. And nothing to get from this. Once again, the green light is there because it was plugged into our TV and it hasn't swapped over yet. Bumpers on the Joy-Cons there. Nothing to overdo. So, one thing that I will say about battery life, I think they're going to gimmick it by having it where, depending upon, I think they're going to spread the battery life throughout the 3 batteries that you have connected to each other. So you have both of the batteries in the hands, the Joy-Cons, and then you have the battery that is in the tablet, right? And so a way to get more battery life would be, okay, the tablet is at 30% battery, and both of the Joy-Cons are at 100%, so we're just going to take battery from there and put it into the tablet, so the tablet doesn't run out of battery and you can't game anymore. So I think that's going to be one of the main things about the console, so I think that will extend battery life, and this thing might actually have good battery life, which is exciting. And once again, just sharing with people. I want to see. There was no indication that she unlocked it, but because I still think the minus and plus buttons are the locks. But and then they here are showing like Nintendo can be esports too, which I think is awesome. And I will actually just show you my favorite part about this trailer. There's not too much going on here, right? But this is seemingly Splatoon 2, right? And also, they're like, hey, girls can be in esports too. I was like, solid stuff there. And you can play well, the Pro Controller's here again, which is cool. And totally new intro for Splatoon. And all of the character models have different hairdos and stuff like that. So, and also, if I'm not mistaken, this is a new map, maybe. But so essentially, you can confirm Splatoon 2 as well for this, and they apparently want to push esports, which is great. And that does it for the Nintendo Switch trailer. I hope you enjoyed this video, and I hope you learned something. It's coming March 2017. It's going to be awesome. My name has been Charity Legion. Like, favorite, subscribe. See you later.